Hey guys, Crypto Mike here with the mic check 1212. Is this thing on? How you guys doing today? If you enjoy my content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let's go. Alright guys, I want to give a special thanks to the person who actually directed me to this video, Xrp at ROS2000NI on Twitter. She tagged me in a tweet that said, okay, now attention, please get a lesson from the elite Gematria numerology. And here's a video from basically Lagarde. She did a speech at the National Press Club, National Press Club in January of 2014, and it kind of showcases basically her, educating the National Press Club, the audience, on how to use numerology and how to do it. And also what I think, and I'll show you a direct case of how she uses Jewish gematria to code, guys. And I'm going to show you the case here. Okay, now let me show you this real quick. Now, one of my viewers left me a comment in a past video, and this makes a lot of sense. XRP 1%er told me the Jewish secret code numerical system gematria is a special language the elites use, and most of them are Jews. So the bankers, the Rothschilds and the Warburgs, Goldman Sachs, etc., any of the major banks and the creators, top leaders of Ripple, the Federal Reserves are run by Jews. Christine Lagarde is a Jew. David Schwartz is a Jew, etc. They communicate through this numerical system along with the symbol, so the sheep do not know what's going on. And it makes a lot of sense. Now, Christine Lagarde, just a little background. If you don't know who she is, she was the Minister of Commerce. She was the Minister of Agriculture in France, the Minister of Economy and Finance and Industry in France. She was the Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund. That's where most of you guys know her from. And just recently, she assumed presidency of the European Central Bank, which is huge. All right. And we, obviously we know her and we all adore her because she's friendly with Brad Garlinghouse of XRP, of Ripple, XRP. And just recently, Forbes ranked her number 3 on its world's 100 most powerful women list. Okay. Now, we've also just seen her recently wearing a triskelion, all right? We've also seen her parading Brad Garlinghouse on her arm a lot lately at meetings and stuff. Now, we've seen her wearing a triskelion, which, we can, maybe compare to the Ripple logo. Some people think it looks like the Ripple logo. Some people also think it might be some kind of symbolic thing. I don't know. But let me show you the video.
Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. As you can tell, I do as I'm told. And I thought I had to stand up at the time when my immediate predecessor would sit down, and clearly I failed. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for having me with you. I would like to thank the National Press Club, and especially President Angela Grilling-Keen, for not only inviting me to this prestigious venue, but essentially presenting the outline of what I want to talk to you about now. So it's as if we had prepared that together, which we have not. Now let me first of all, of course, begin by...
Now, real quick, I want to let you know ahead of time, this is before any of these cryptocurrencies blew up. She tells us about 3 different cryptocurrencies here in this small clip. All right. She was telling her people, all right, the elite, through code, these were going to be big. All right. I don't know what she said ahead of time, but she said, listen for these words, listen for these codes. I'm going to tell you something like that. I don't know.
Wishing you all a happy new year. I guess it's still time to do that, given that we are just exactly halfway through between Western New Year and the Lunar New Year, which will loom in a few
She's
weeks
talking
time.
about Lunar New Year's.
I think it's also appropriate to wish ourselves a happy New Year, given what I would like to talk to you about, which has to do with the global economy and what we should expect for 2014. Now I'm going to test you numerology skills by asking you to think about the magic 7. Okay? Most of you will know that 7 is quite a number in all sorts of themes, religions, and I'm sure that you can compress numbers as well. If we think about 2014, all right, I'm just giving you 2014, you drop the 0, 14, 2 times 7. Okay, that's just by way of example, and we're going to carry on. So, if we think about 2014, all right, I'm just giving you 2014, you drop the 0, 14, 2 times 7. That's just by way of example, and we're going to carry on. So 2014 will be a milestone and hopefully a magic year in many respects. It will mark the 100th anniversary of the First World War back in 1914. It will mark the 70th anniversary, drop the 0, 7, of the Bretton Woods Conference that actually gave birth to the IMF. And it will be the 25th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. 25th.
Okay, now pay attention here. Now just wait. Now you gotta look for pauses.
It will also
body language.
mark the
Listen.
7th anniversary of the financial market jitters that quickly turned into the greatest global economic calamity since
Okay,
the Great
you saw how she paused a little bit before, and now look, listen. Trump does this a whole lot. All right, he does this a whole lot. Now, but we're gonna focus here on Lagarde. Now, the elite code to each other this way, and what she said here, she made a pause, and it was very abrupt. You could tell she kind of wanted to accentuate this word, calamity. Now, what happens when you type in calamity into a Jewish or English gematria calculator? What do you get? Lumens, which some people think is going to be the new world currency, right? Stellar lumens, right? Now, what happened? This was in 2014 when she made this speech, okay? January 15th, 2014. What happened with stellar lumens? Stellar lumens, okay? It started off being 0.002 cents when she made that speech, all right? Its all-time high was 0.75 cents, a little higher, right? And it looks like it's going to go higher than that. But I believe that was the beginning. That was one of the currencies that I believe that the globalist elite are planning to use as part of our cashless future. Let's go on.
The crisis still lingers. Yet, optimism is in the air. We've left the deep freeze behind us.
Deep freeze. Now, did you hear this? That's kind of a weird phrase. All right. She said optimism is in the air. We've left a deep freeze behind us. And she kind of accented that phrase. Now, when you type in deep freeze, you get Ethereum. Okay? What happened with Ethereum? We all know what happened with Ethereum. We all know what happened with Ethereum. It started, I think it was lower than this, but it started, as far as I can tell, it started in 2015 at $1, and then it went up to $1,300. So that's 1,000x right there. Okay. Now it came back down, but it definitely seems like it's going to be used as part of the infrastructure of the fintech world. Okay. Now the next one.
And the horizon looks just a bit brighter. So my hope and my wish for 2014 is that after those 7 miserable years, weak and fragile, we have 7
Fragile. Fragile XRP. Okay. Now we know what happened with XRP in 2017. We saw 80,000% gains in that one. Started off at 0.002 cents, and it went up to, well, that's stellar. Hold on. .02, but you guys know the story. All right. So I believe she was coding to someone or all of them or the elite. I don't know who it was. She was coding. That's what they do. And that's a clear case right there. All right, guys. Just wanted to show you guys that. If you enjoy my content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe for more of this and hit the notification bell so you get my latest videos and so you can participate in the live streams. All right, guys. Love you guys. Hodl strong. Be good people. Peace.